Hello everyone, this is Greyshot117 here, bringing you another Company of Heroes 2 replay, brought to you by... Okay, I'm gonna pause it right now. For those who are just cautious about Game of Thrones spoilers, you're about to be spoiled a lot this episode, so if you're not caught up on the most recent episode of Game of Thrones, because I feel like this game was literally sent to me the night of Game of Thrones, which is why this might be going on, or at least the day after, stop watching this replay right now. You don't want to watch this replay. You will be spoiling Game of Thrones. Alright? Also, before I even start it, I do want to highlight something very cool. Not only do I want to thank Chris and Tim and my other Patreon supporters for their donations, but I also need to have a highlight for a friend who I figured the best way possible would be to showcase on my most popular video. This entry that he did for the Team 4-Star competition going on right now, Jesus Christ, is amazing, and I just want to show it right now to speak for itself.
So you see, Salamander, Saitama, I came here to fulfill the prophecy of my people and do battle with the strongest being of all time. And then Space Apple Maps brought me here, so if you could point me in the right direction, that'd be great. Fuck!
As stated, again, it's just great. I love it so much. So, yeah, that's his entry for One Punch Man. Love it. And like I said before, if you are Game of Thrones spoiler crazy, do not watch this replay at this point forward. You've been warned. Alright, anyway. The person who sent me into me is Jon Snow as a Jon Targaryen. There you go. There's a spoiler for you. King of the North. Yeah, probably shouldn't use your name as a spoiler for future reference. Rolling is also on his team with Knights of Ren, which might be a spoiler, and Herenix, along with 1%, IQ, Pack, and Plowing Uranus, which again is equally bad of a name in certain regards. Also, not gonna go too much into Game of Thrones, but goddamn, that last episode was amazing. I swear to God, Cat, if you pull out that wire, I will freaking murder you. Yeah, Cat, let's play with the power cord that connects to my computer. You know, the very important one that would disconnect it. Oh my God, it's just great. I feel bad for the dwarf. Alright, anyway, moving on. We have a 4v4 game on Red Ball Express. This is a 4v4, pretty big, and it deals with 3 Soviet and 3 OKW and a Vermont and a American player, which is funny because I thought the OKW went in the hiding. But let's see what they do. So anyway, Knights of Ren. Littlefinger would never be king. No fucking duh. Alright. Oh, who knows? Maybe the long commu might. Anyway. Play Quantum Break if you want to see the guy from Littlefinger actually be a really cool villain. Just saying. Xbox One and Windows 10. But still, not sponsored by that. Just, you know, enjoyed it. Let's see. This guy's going double NG to hold the front line with a double Kubel. Very interesting. I don't really see Kubels using this capacity, but we also have double Sturm, which is funny because you can say initially good against infantry and then good against armor, while the Kubels are just good support. Why the fuck did you retreat that? The Kubel's not going to do enough damage, and then you could easily put in this building. If you were in the middle of nowhere, absolutely retreat. Get the heck out of there. But, I mean, hold on. Yeah, he just has 2 Kubels. And you have what? Yeah, you have more infantry on the front line. A lot more infantry on the front line. Why the hell did you retreat? Doing a nice Kubel repair. Nice job with the Stern Pioneers. At least keep on the front line. Bad location for the MG. That's in negative cover. But on the positive note, at least, you know, the MG is suppressing them. And looks like it'll do enough damage to hold them back before they can do anything. So nice job in that capacity. Very nice. Also, the Pioneer Squad looks like just trying to decap some territory. Left side, though, a little bit of a bigger issue. Looks like the OKW player, a.k.a. John, tried to push up here, capture this location. However, Scout Car and Soviet and American forces seem to push them back, which is a good and bad thing. I feel in this capacity, it's most likely the quote-unquote infantry from both their... Again, if I had to guess, the riflemen were just too much for these guys, plus the support from the scout car, just a little bit too much for these guys. And then also the mortar team add in, which not as OP, but still pretty powerful. Makes it very difficult for the OKW and the Vermont to really push up. Well, actually, it's both OKW, so my apologies. pretty much the OKW in general to push up. So yeah, that is a point of contention. Now, enough firepower will kill this thing. Don't get me wrong, but it does take quite a bit. And it looks like the OKW has a good early game advantage. Huh. Very nice job. That being said, again, we have Kubol's moving back up again. But there's an MG right here. Hey, dude, turn the fucking MG pack mule and hit these Kubols. Might be helpful. It might be, or... Okay, you getting a... Yeah, okay, you're about to get an AT grenade. Perfect. Alright, why aren't you retreating this? Why did you do that if you're about to get an AT grenade? What? Whatever. In any capacity, I'm just like wondering, like, wait, what? Yeah, he could have just thrown an AT grenade at the Kubel, let them kill this thing, and then reman it for 3 men. You can do that, you know that, right? You would have been fine. Oh, boy. It's like short-term, long-term tactics. Just saying. In any capacity, let's see, any doctrines yet? No, we have no doctrines yet. Actually, let's look at rank real quick. That is actually a big question. Oh, so you have looks like a higher rank game, and to be fair, he is pretty high ranked. Versing, Cat, if you keep pulling that cord, I swear to God. All right, there we go. There we go. Got the cat way for a second. Why the fuck are you Oh, you're using the stupid scout card glitch where you burn him alive while he retreats. Funny enough, you ran in with 2 Kubos on your back, so let's see. He has to remain an MG, and you lost, what, 270? How much is a goddamn scout car these days? Scout car is worth 190 and 15 fuel. That's actually decently expensive. And then, you know, lost some penal troops, which are now 300. My God. That is pretty powerful. Jesus Christ, if I could talk. More of you on the front line. Looks like that might push back the Kubels very easily. Yeah, these Kubels will not stand a chance under that firepower. Looks like the one Kubel lived. This one did not. Unfortunately, it looks like the Allies did recapture this point and are slowly pushing up with the mortar teams. I like how he is pushing up with his support to help out. A lot of people just stay behind, although we have a medical facility here, so they're not going to be able to get past this point. They won't. They're going to heal. It's too effective. Although the mortar could be very effective, it's not going to do the necessary amount of damage for the rest of the, and especially these guys won't be able to do enough to hold them back for these guys to push up. If he grabs that MG and kind of suppresses them, sure he could, but natively, no, he won't. If you do a suppression with a nice satchel charge, yeah, you could cripple them, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like these guys are going to do that. Probably should have stolen the MG-42 because, you know, Soviets kind of need that good MG. We have a nice double team over here, 2-star Kubel. If you get 3 stars, man, I'll give you, I mean, that would be amazing. Nice fire grenade, push him out of that cover, and then kind of flank it from 2 different angles. We do have an MG over here as well, so that's kind of helping to do a little bit more damage against them, MG-34, because of the fact that he made a building, mechanized, which is how he gets this nice little lukes. And yeah, because of that little mechanized building, he's able to get MG-34. Which is okay. I mean, if you get ranked up, it's pretty good. But again, you just have to get it ranked up. That's the big thing. Surrender, it's over. Tried your best. Not really. It's 8 minutes in the game. This game could change. Literally, it went from OKW winning to Allies winning. And to be fair on this game, none of the major supply points have been hit. Like, he hasn't lost the building. He hasn't lost this, so he hasn't lost a major production facility. It's like you do a tactical victory, but not a strategic victory, where, yeah, sure, you win the battle, but you don't stop the enemy from getting more supplies to, again, fight you again, thereby possibly losing the battle, and then possibly losing more strategic resources. Essentially, it's like if you have 2 hills and a giant plain, and then the enemy attacks, 2 enemies attack, and then the plain is cleared, and it's like you won the quote-unquote battle, the enemy retreated, but you don't take the hill they started from, they still have that advantage, you You just won a battle. You didn't win anything substantial. That said, we have a scout car running in here. That's gonna be fucked. Don't know what you're trying, Herenix. I'm assuming you're trying to go for some type of ambulance or something along those lines. Also, very nice job, free fire. Again, that would hopefully make it so that way they don't get annihilated. That would be good. We have another Kubel over here. Come on, Kubel, get 3 stars. You can do it, Kubel. I believe in you. Scout car made it back. Very nice. And also, the blob has come in. Again, I consider a blob a singular or multiple units all being used within a very, very close proximity of each other. Now, this is a common tactic. I feel like people misjudge what I say. This is not a bad tactic. It's vulnerable, don't get me wrong, it has its strategic downfalls and, you know, advantages, but it's not a win-all, be-all strategy. Especially if you use dumb tactics, or dumb blob, which is, you know, click the whole thing and, you know, just press it everywhere. Or you click each individual unit and tell them where to go. That's a bigger plus. That's a bigger win. Now let's see. Pack Mule, Silver Reserves. Okay, Partisan Tank Hunter's not bad. And you have some good conscripts bonuses. Or basic infantry bonuses, I should say. Oh, Stormtroopers. Have to check that out in a second. Guard Mortar Tactics, T-30-45s are pretty awesome. Along with the Mortar and Guards Rifle. Make them pretty effective overall. We also have Partisan Tactics, which I kind of like. This map isn't really urban, so it doesn't necessarily make it all that great. These guys, for those who forget, Partisans are really, really easy to kill. So, like, they're best for flanking or for being deployed and killing a vehicle. They're not great front line. So if I see this guy, like, attack head-on with a bunch of Partisans, they're going to die. Because, again, they're essentially irregulars. They're civilians with army equipment. If you get, no offense as much as I think GTA, let's say GTA, who talks a lot of shit, about, you know, just being like America and a bunch of other people. If you have the no experience, how I think GTA has experience, but let's just say he doesn't for this analogy. Let's say he does no experience. You give him a gun, say go fire. He may be able to fire a clip, but without the ability to reload or to effectively, you know, be trained on military tactics, he's going to be pretty easy to kill. I'm not trying to be mean, but when, like, if you ever seen Black Hawk Down, it's like, oh my god, 18 American soldiers lost their lives. Yeah, it's tragedy. But then you also remember, like, 1,000 militia fighters on the other side lost their lives. Not saying they were in the right, but also shows you that, let's see, a bunch of people with guns versus well-equipped soldiers with training and equipment. You can see the example of, like, Jesus Christ, this is really, really overpowered. Again, still sad the American soldiers lost their lives. It's sad that everyone lost a lot of people lost their lives. But you can see, like, the analogy of well-trained fighters versus poorly trained fighters and the effectiveness of both. Even like the quote-unquote Tet Offensive in Vietnam, where it's like if we lose 10 of our soldiers and the enemy loses 1, that's a victory. It's like, Jesus Christ, how many men do you have? Very few countries have that point where it's like, well, yeah, we're just going to sacrifice 10 to 1 and still be okay. Soviets, for example. Again, perfect analogy for that. But again, this guy isn't spamming a ton of Partisans. Also, why the fuck are you in here? Just retreat already. There you go, no shame in it. Let's see, we also have Heavy Cavalry, which will bring out the Pershing, and some Rangers, close range. My problem is I think this guy doesn't need Rangers per se, because of, well, oh, perfect timing! This damn thing. Because it's a Luke's, great against killing infantry, and he has no AT. Jesus Christ, maybe AT is a good idea. Especially if you're going to keep antagonizing the front line with, well, your mortars. Now, let's see. Breakthrough Doctrine. The Tiger's pretty good, along with, of course, the Panzer Fusiliers. Good officer, which is good for boosting infantry. Oh, wow. Very nice headquarters. What do you do? What is your plan with your T-70? That Panzer Quarters, the flat gun is going to tear you apart. Also, Scout Car for the, you know, just for insult. Kill the tank with a Scout Car. These guys are being pretty smart, moving around. If they do a satchel charge right here. Oh, no. I'm sorry. He didn't pull over enough. Still got killed. Let's see. Renix got Encirclement Doctrine. That's why you have the Stormtroopers. This map I could see being effective if you hit a strategic point. Like, I think this would be one. Because No. Maybe? No, this one I'll go here. Maybe cut off this point, then this point. The enemy has the front line. Something along those lines. Essentially, this is great for, like, capturing a lot of points, encircling the enemy, and then doing a tremendous amount of damage. That artillery strike is insane and does a lot of damage. But, of course, not very effective, simply because of the fact that close the pocket, you need to, quote-unquote, close the pocket. Otherwise, it's just frontline mortars. And, while effective, not as great as if you can cut off the enemy territory. That's why it's only 200 munitions. It's still very effective because you need to do a lot of backhand. And then Knights of Ren, with his Olsodon, has the STG-44 equipped. And again, because all 4 of them have STG-44s, at least I believe so. Yeah. Essentially makes him very, very effective at fighting frontline forces. And overall, just tears them apart with great ease. And they have great defense, so they can take a lot of hits as well. So essentially with that upgrade, they can go toe-to-toe with even like shock troops most of the time. Again, a nice grenade could take them out, or shock troop surprise attack could do a lot of damage. But overall, they're still very good infantry. We do have a Panther, so we do have a first tank on the field. Very nice. Anyone else have a tank? We have a scout car. I guess we have an vehicle, the Lukes. A decent amount of infantry and support on the front line. Soviet player trying to break through the mid, having some success, and as a minesweeper to make sure mines don't affect his units. At least he's trying to break through that area. I like how the allies went from, you should surrender, to, yeah, now you lost the front line. So, like I said, typically in this map, it does swing back and forth, unless the OKW fortifies heavily, but it's very difficult, especially versing a lot of allied players, because again, they can go tactics that help break that up. Unfortunately, these guys didn't do that. I mean, like, yeah, Pac Mule has the howitzer, which is very effective at breaking this stuff up. Like, this is a perfect area to, like, use, like, double artillery on and kill all this crap. But if you have, like, this guy who's kind of more spread out, it's a little bit harder. Because, again, it's not as clustered. Nice job with the quote-unquote barbed wire, but I think, yeah, I think this guy actually sealed it off, so he could be flanked with the MG and kind of force them this way, which is actually pretty smart. In the building, again, you can still be flanked through the shrubbery, because, again, it kind of obstructs your vision. Is this even deployed? It's not even deployed. Never mind, this guy sucks. Oh, this one is, though, for some reason. A nice grenade able to kill that, but we have the heavy mortar coming in. Doing a lot of damage. A lot of damage indeed. But, yeah, so now we have another push. Looks like there was a demo there. Didn't go well. What's over here? Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, they can hold fire. And with the Panzerschreck. Oh, so you can sneak up behind, do a lot of damage. Oh, that's great. And also you can see they have Su-85s. That's really smart. What is this guy? Horenix. That is incredibly smart. Although, get close enough and they will be seen. Oh, this guy's like, wait, what? And also, since he's making a mine, they're easily going to be killed. Our cover's been blown. Open fire. Open fire. Honestly, with those units, I do like the STG-44s better. Or go, actually, the Elite Troops Doctrine and get the G-43s along with the Panzerschreck, and that makes for a very effective combo. Very effective. But actually, that kind of screwed up this whole Soviet guy. He's like, hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pull back. Pull back. We do have Jackson on the left side. Could be pretty good against holding back the Lukes and other light armored forces. But with a cannon warfare right here, Jackson can't go too far up. And if he is, actually, he's in a kill zone right now, so he could be hit if he gets spotted. Come on. Oh, this one hit at least. I don't know why this one isn't. There we go. And the reason why I keep Jackson's in the back. This guy's still here, helping pick him off. They're pretty good at stormtroopers. I do really like. My problem is I don't necessarily like using this doctrine all that much, but they're very, very good infantry units, and highly, highly recommend them because of all the extra abilities they have access to. Let's see. Again, like the STG-44s, the anti-tank package. I think I'll equip them with also G-43s with the Elite Troops Doctrine. Oh, man, are they great. Okay, so you have Rangers. Here's my question for you. Same thing with the Partisan troops. Close range combat, open scale map. The enemy team has a lot of long range units. Again, good for picking off those targets before they get in cover. Nice job with the Panther for just like scaring them half to death, but whatever. Another Panther on this side as well. Okay. Looks like, again, they try to rush for some heavier armor to deal with the possible Soviet spam they deal with. Nice artillery to push them back. I mean, don't be wrong. Su-76s can kill a Panther, but it is very difficult to penetrate front armor with the Su-76 gun. Especially, I don't see here any sort of special upgrade available for them. So, again, they don't have a pen bonus, which, again, makes it slightly more difficult for them to fight. Honestly. So, what do you do in this situation? Well, that's a very good question. A very, very, very good question indeed. Honestly, what you can do is, to kill a Panther, instead you could use your partisan troops and kind of use the vehicle stuff to hurt it. Or, you could use your G43s, like, pin it, and then take it out. I know, it's like, oh my god, Greyshot, well, this guy's on the left side. Well, guy over here has 3 Su-76s, so we can see he is spamming quite a bit, and actually this guy has a bunch of Su-85s, Su-76 as well. So I'm actually curious to see why they all went this. I mean, don't get me wrong, the artillery ability can be very OP. Don't get me wrong, the Su-76 can be slightly overpowered in that comparison because it's firing long range, doing a ton of damage. But you also have to consider a very important aspect. It's a support tank. It's not a frontline tank. So you have to be overly cautious about how you engage this and make sure it doesn't get flanked. A simple flank, a Panther can kill like this unit in like 2 shots with a special bulletin, or 3 if it's, really weak. Or like, I'm sorry, if it's like a really bad shot, I should probably say. Okay, so what do you going here? We have a half track with a bunch of stormtroopers in them. Looks like trying to flank the enemy. Now, again, we do have a... Oh, I see. He's going to try to bum rush these guys, deploy them, and do a lot of damage over here, if that's what I am looking at. Get away from the fire. Okay, or just miss them entire... Where the fuck are you going? I mean, let's take out the fuel caches. Sure. Also, if this guy thinks, let's deploy the Su-76s, terrible idea, because A, they're just going to move out of the way. But B, okay, so you took out 200 points of fuel, and all the Su-76s are close by. Man, oh man, you should not have allowed that target. Plus, dude, really? Barbed wire? Okay, nice job killing that, but you also now have to deal with the Panzerschreck forces hitting your units from behind. Again, very lucky that didn't kill it. Dushka? Is that Dushka I hear? Sounds like a Dushka. Where's the Dushka? Where the fuck? I swear to God I heard a Dushka or something. No. How's that even possible? That wouldn't be possible. How were they suppressed? Oh, was it the base? Oh, it was the base that suppressed them. That's interesting. Another American push on this side. Kind of effective. Rangers, very heavy infantry. Takes a lot to deal with them. And they are using smoke to get past the MG. Pretty smart. But they don't have anything substantial. Like, sure, you're breaking through heavy infantry, but you don't have that heavy tank yet. So the Jackson, while can be effective and very nice flip, by the way, you just don't have enough to break this. And I feel like with the Soviet player, aka this guy, you should have that. You should go for the mechanized armor companion, because he's plenty of fuel, by the way, and just use Katyushas and break that front line. That way the infantry can push up along with the armor support. But no, let's charge head on. Smoke's great, but I do question this guy's Yag Panzer. I guess to be fair, it is something different. It's not another Panther, and it does have its own unique advantages. I had pretty much sniping as a tank destroyer, so I could see this being pretty effective against the Su-76s. Also has great front armor pen protection, so again, it's like, if the shots on the front, pretty good. Side, not as much, but still okay. But like I said, my question is, I'm not a big fan of this thing. I've seen it do a lot of damage, so we'll see how it goes. I will say, we'll see. I don't want to discount players. Like, I may personally not like the mortar carriage, but I know some people who are goddamn beasts with that thing, and can, like, destroy a lot of units. I tried, I instantly died, but some people are better at things than others. Like, again, I have the master touch with the B4. Let's be honest right now. I'm one of the more proficient B4 players, even though it's an artillery piece. But still, I will count that in some capacity. Assault artillery, I guess, trying to break this American player. And to be fair, with that gone, that essentially just allowed Jon Snow to ride into the south. Oh boy. And pretty much overwhelm the enemy. No question. Oh, I guess this is, I mean, looking here, yeah, it would decapture. Yeah, decapture this. The enemy controls these front points. You could easily overwhelm them. So, what they could do, hypothetically, maybe decap this point. Use your, you know, as ability. Cut off territory. Maybe you have to decap this one as well. Whatever. Cut it off and then call in your special ability. Don't know why you called in the artillery here. There isn't much of anything over here. Everything's kind of away. I heard some type of Stuka bomb, so I know he used it. I think he tried to use it here. Maybe. It didn't capture anything else, which is why I'm just confused. Anyway, so like I said, if this thing is not cutting off enemy territory, all it's going to do is just like a little mortar effect on the front line. That's it. Light mortar barrage, all sighted frontline enemy sectors. Yeah. Nice 5-star Lukes. I will give you a commendation for that. That's kind of hard to do. Not necessarily because I was like, oh my god, Greyshot's a tank. What's a light tank? And making it survive 25 minutes in game, still pretty challenging. Because, like, what, 2 decent, 3 weak AT shots and that thing will die? It's bad up so it can last longer. Also, Panzerschreck, so you may just lose it. No, still may just get out of there. I'm questioning, what's the 5-star ability for it? Now suppresses infantry. Oh, that's awesome. Advanced targeting and sighting equipment. That's cool. So yeah, that's awesome. You can now suppress with this and then use it as an effective means to hold back the enemy infantry. Fucking. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna assume we treat it this way, which. Nice job, by the way. Great effective attack. Really just showcasing the effectiveness of that ability. Anyway, as you can see here, he's like, fuck you with all that. But instead of, you know, possibly calling out artillery, which was effective, don't get me wrong, he did have a unit right here, which he did kind of kill. So, you have that. Let's see, here the American player did call in some recon. Most likely trying to see what the enemy has. Enemy does have, I think, all their bases up. Yeah, they do. Actually, kind of healing. And frontline repairs. Again, you do have to, quote-unquote, get the upgrade to do the repair stations for both the medical and engineer headquarter groups. But still, I feel like that's kind of even. And so far, I think that in a lot of the sense, with the hotfix they did fix a lot of the game, and it seems a bit more balanced now. I haven't noticed, like, except for the machine gun Sherman, which someone may have showed me how to do, which I do not recommend doing multiplayer. God damn, that is that's bullshit. Look it up for those who don't know. It's Machine Gun Sherman, and it's just the most like OP thing. It's as bad as that MG that it's a similar thing with the MG where they kind of like use specific tactic to kind of increase range and fire of that thing, except instead of here they just amplify the shot so it just keeps firing faster and faster and faster until it breaks the game. Or breaks the enemy, one of the two. Looks like the enemy is pushing through. We have, again, I like this combo because you have the Jagdpanzer and then you have the King Tiger. So both complement each other. One's great against killing infantry and armor, respectively, take a lot of hits. Well, the Jagdpanzer is good for being able to snipe a lot of armor that's like coming around to try to kill the king. Now, of course, we have a Pershing on the left side with some Rangers pushing up. A lot of, again, we still have that suppression issue, which he has not really been able to deal with all that effectively at all. Throw a grenade? No, let's not do that. Oh, now he does. We do have a Pershing on the front line, but Pershing can't go toe-to-toe with the Panther. He does have Kenworth for Frad support, so most likely the enemy player or the OKW player, aka Jon Snow, will have the advantage. Jon Snow has a ton of, resources. That's a good idea. Let's look at allied resources. Okay, so I would say about 60 overall average, while these guys have probably about 70. 65 average. Yeah, 1% is doing something which is really stupid. He's constantly attacking a side which he's failed to gain on in any respect for quite some time. He should honestly be hoping in mid, because that way his infantry, again, have a lot more close combat because of the fact they can sneak up behind all this debris and just be like, surprise, with those Thompsons and kind of destroy. On the flip side, he could always put those MG bunkers and possibly just a light detachment here to stop the OKW player from flanking. And besides, if you look here again, mines. Yes, he has the ability for mines, and this guy doesn't have a minesweeper, so it could be very effective if he did try to push and knock out a lot of his armor and infantry. Unfortunately, the Yag is probably not going to make it. Poor Yag, rip Yag. Nice Panther flank coming in over here. The Yag looks like, well, Jesus Christ, what is this? The scout car push, along with, I'm assuming that, yeah, the 3 here. There's 5 of those things. It's probably not going to help. You're not going to, yeah, I have no fuck. Well, that was a plane crash. No idea what you're trying to go at then. Wow, that was the biggest failed charge I've... Actually, no, that is not the biggest failed charge. I had a replay where someone literally sent me, like, a game where they had 10 scout cars and then quit. And it's just like, yeah, you're not good. Moving on. Nice Stuka doing actually quite a bit of damage over here to the poor Su-76s. Actually knocking 2 of them out, which is good. I have to push them back for repairs. These units can now move up and actually decap this territory, which... If this guy would then do the quote-unquote break supply lines right here, my lord, you could have a very effective zeroing artillery strike. What's the zeroing artillery? What is this called again? Close the pocket artillery strike, come in and just do a lot of damage. Sorry guys, smoke does a kind of fucks everything up. Anyway, more artillery coming in, doing a little bit of damage over here, not too bad. And I like how the American player is kind of focusing in here. That will slowly turn the tide and kind of pull the OKW forces away from where they're fortified. But, again, they are fortified, so if I was this guy, a pack mule, where's our artillery at? Oh, it's kind of just hitting this respective area. You did kill a truck, the medical, well, that's good. But I feel like you should be helping out your allies. Like, all these trucks are so close together, and you know they're there because of recon. So you know they're here in this sector. You should honestly ask the American player for a low recon, which I'm sure he still has, and then call an artillery and knock that stuff out. Yeah, he actually is 2-star major, so he actually has a better recon ability than real. I mean, like, it's a double plane, so actually you get a lot of coverage, which is really nice. We do have a Yag Tiger on the field now. I was waiting for this because, again, we have 2 guys with breakthrough. Eventually, one of them will call that in. So, okay, so what's effective here? What's the strategy? Well, the Yag is actually pretty good because it can counteract the King. The King can be designed to hit the infantry, to be that buffer. Well, the Yag, similar to the Yag Panzer, will just snipe a lot of the armor that is trying to try to circle or knock out the King natively, while the King can again focus on the basic infantry. Now, I'm not saying that is a perfect strategy. A light infantry or special abilities can knock both of these guys out pretty effectively. But, overall, you still have a good strategy. And as you can see here, the Yag does a tremendous amount of damage. It can pretty much kill almost any allied vehicle within 3 shots. So you need a lot of allied vehicles. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, this guy could do the scout car approach and just send him in like a goddamn hurricane. But that may not be the best strategy. Honestly, to take out a Yag, I would hit the flank and push up with light infantry. We have no MGs right here, so we can easily see that pretty much open. You could use, actually even so, you can actually use spy network to see where all the enemy's units are, and you can be like, okay, the two armored units are here, so we know where the Yag is. Plan a quote-unquote flanking maneuver and knock out a tremendous amount of their armor with it. The Pershing could be the heavy tank leading the charge. That we could take some more hits than the native armor, along with T-34s and Jacksons. T-34 85s with Jacksons, encircle it, take out the infantry, bing bada boom, and then mark target, which as you can see, which again he used over here, adds to the damage component, so it does a lot more. We do have another look. How many Kings? Are there 3 Kings on the field right now, or just 2? No, we have We have 3 heavy tanks. 2 kings and a yag. Nice attempt at a flank here, but again, I would be very cautious moving through here without a minesweeper. Because again, we know he went Pershing, so we know he has the ability for mines. So you have to be overly cautious when going in enemy territory. Because the enemy, while down, still has enough kick to turn the tide. Although, to be fair, the allies are slowly losing this sector now, which will decap their fuel, their munitions, and now the Axis to gain the advantage, which they sorely do not want or need right now, because the Axis is already close, or sorry, the allies are already close to the breaking point. Conscripts, you're not gonna beat a 3-star Sedan unit. Hate to break it to you. Don't know why this guy is charging in. I guess he really wants to kill up Sedan unit. Which, oh my god, he's alive, guys. He's standing. He's okay, everybody. Hey, Opal Sedan man. I'm glad you're alive. You stay chipper, okay? Good to see you alive. Fortunately, T-34. Not in the best situation. Also, those poor units are not in the best situation. But yeah, right now it's the allies always have that issue with taking out a lot of Axis armor. But with the patch, they did open it, so if you flank the armor, you do a tremendous amount of damage. Almost always penetrate, kind of like Fury. So, the Katyusha also should probably be focused over here, kind of neutralize these points. This actually be a pretty good point if you want to deploy partisans. There is a building, I think, back here. Yeah, right here. It's kind of away from, it's like, yeah, it's its own separate area, kind of away. So you could deploy actually a small army back here and kind of charge from behind. That's always a strategy, and actually could be a very effective strategy. At least in my opinion, because again, you would flank the enemy with actually quite a lot of forces, and that could also take out a lot of armor right here. So you could, if you plan that correctly, you could do that. T-34 85s, yeah, they're moving up. And to be fair, he has 1 pack gun, which these guys could easily kill if they focus fire. We have a king though, so also Sturm Pioneers, Panzerschreck. So yeah, these guys are most likely gonna die. He did miss that shot, so good. Let's see, what's his base look like? Not many forces. Jesus. I mean, to be fair, we also have Knights of Ren, who doesn't have a lot of forces. But yeah, it's the allies are on the breaking point. They are losing, and unfortunately, they need to do a severe blow. But it seems like they just keep going for that frontline attack, which is just not working. Yeah, and to be fair, Axis have some really well-equipped infantry, so, except for this guy, I have no idea what the fuck this guy's doing. Like, Renix, you have some great strategies, but my god, your scout cars. If you're trying to just bomb rush the enemy lines and just do a lot of damage, bravo, congratulations. Best of luck with that, because I have no idea what you're trying to do. Artillery still kind of hitting the front line area. But like I said, I feel like the artillery should be focused on this position. Trying to help your ally out. Oh, look, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. I want to note something here. Oh, wait, they just recaptured it. God damn it. Oh, wait, no, the enemy captured that. So the allies pretty much lost the entire front. So this new artillery, close the pocket's about to come in, do a tremendous amount of damage, and probably kill a lot of armor on the front line. Oh, close the pockets coming in. Yeah, they essentially just neutralizing a lot of allied armor. And look at all those bomb strikes coming in. It's ridiculous. And pretty much just annihilate any force in between there. And push the enemy all the way back to their base. Mostly. Pretty much. In that sense, congratulations. That was actually a really good play, Harenix. I can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to, okay, that being said, he should probably get some more armor or something to help his allies. But he's trying to break the allied line, get behind him, and cause massive amounts of damage. Which, some success, yes, some success, no. But overall, I feel like it's a different strategy than just battling on the front line. And you have, very few times you have a player who's like, I'm going to focus on getting and neutralizing this and causing havoc behind their lines. The allies who have multiple doctrines that can do the very same thing to probably greater effectiveness because of the fact you have partisans moving through that instantly deploy. Very nice mine, by the way. A very nice mine. Just simply aren't doing that. Like, you can deploy from here, or from here. I think there's some... Yeah, there's a building right here. Or this shed. You can deploy from the shed. I don't know how you're going to hide, like, 5 squads of infantry in there and just suddenly pop out. But, hey, it's like the... literally a clown car in a carnival where you have 10 guys pop out of this, like, 2-foot car. It's like, what the fuck? T-35 trying to hold the front. But overall, this game is GG at this point. Allies are trying to just hold the front line, but overall I see no possibility of a counterattack of any significance really occurring. Because there's too many heavy tanks, the enemy controls too many resources, and yeah. Nice, Tuca. A little bit of damage to the Yag, but nice, Tuca overall. Pushing him back. Allies making one final ditch, but you can see the amount of forces the Axis have compared to the Allies. And the Allies just don't have... They just can't back up a sustained fight. They're doing pretty good, though. I will say this. They're at least coming back with better efficiency, but like I said, with the Yag, they're sniping everything. They have to keep their armored units back without a flank, and right now with the OKW kind of fortifying both the left and right side, it's very hard to flank without having a side open. You can maybe push through here, but I don't know. It would be very difficult to make the surprise the enemy. Although, ladies and gentlemen, once again, close the pocket coming in. We have both these points cut off because of points being captured. Once again, very nice. And close the pocket comes in and just starts hammering enemy forces in this sector. Jackson's crew got knocked out. Probably more forces, more artillery is about to come in this sector. Come on. Oh, I guess because they're in the decap point, they're not being hit anymore. God dang it. Oh, well. And they actually recap, so I guess you don't have to worry. Oh, holy God. I don't think that was on purpose. But, yeah. Like, why? Oh, because it is cut off. This point is cut off. So I guess you do have to worry about that. Yeah, and the Allies just got annihilated. Unfortunately, that bomb strike also hit the Panther, but, you know, it's kind of just like fucking overkill at this point. But no, congratulations, Jon Snow. You have conquered the South. You have or the North. I guess the North, technically. Wait, is there a compass on here? Is there a compass here somewhere? Where's North? Is it North or South? There's no compass on here. Great. Thanks, Relic. We'll say he conquered the land. Now he just has to deal with all the White Walkers. Alright, Rangers trying to cap the point. Again, the thing is about it, though, is the fact, like, if you were close, point-wise, then it would mean something. But you're not. You're not even close to, like, decreasing them fuel-wise or in any capacity. So, honestly, you're not going to win the fight. It's like, if you throw your forces and try to hold the star, if the enemy is really, really close to losing, then yes, you can win the game. But in this situation where there's such a huge gap, there's little chance that the strategy will be effective. A lot of, looks like a big Soviet push on this side with lots of artillery and whatnot. Don't feel like it's all that effective. Not really helping penetrate anything or anything along those lines. So, just gonna fast forward a little bit. Wow, really? We're doing wrong. You did give a spoiler, but here's the thing I've learned about Game of Thrones. You watch those episodes day one, otherwise Twitter explodes with spoilers. Even Yahoo. I hate, or like Google and stuff like that, news will just be like, Hey, secret revealed on this night's Game of Thrones. Like, thanks, motherfucker, for showing it off. That's what happens when a show is so massive. That's why people really like Breaking Bad when it was small and no one cared to pay attention, because you didn't have to worry about spoilers. Oh, the double Lukes. No! Jon Snow, I'm so sorry. You lost all your Lukes. Although, to be fair, the long range, it looks like the Yagfire just tearing them apart. We have a flank attempt going in over here, but like I said, there's King Tiger right here. They can mark target this. That might be a little bit more effective, but they're still going to not be able to do all that much damage, and they're just overall just completely flanked. I like how the Yag just backed up into it like, no, you're not escaping. So yeah, it's GG at this point. Infantry moving up. We do have a nice kill with the Yag, but there's just from the amount of AT and everything, but overall it's pretty much game over. So let's fast forward to the end. It was a nice shot. IQ 1%, you're still fighting, congratulations. And allies, at least you're still giving it your all. You're still giving it a great game. But like I said, it's just not enough to turn the tide. The problem is you could not open up a flank, and you didn't have any specials open up a flank, so you had to keep fighting front line. That just simply did not... that just could not happen. And then you'd even guard your front line effectively, so when the one guy came in, just like, hey, I'm just going to come in, you couldn't really kill him. The one time you did, but... yes, they can. Rangers can. I mean, sure, it's harder, but they still can. Oh my god, that was a clean sweep. And surrender. He lost all of those units. My god, he has nothing left. And there lies the Soviets, who have all but been annihilated. Yeah, it's... at this point, maybe like, oh, Greyshot, are they? Also, really nice job, you know, decapping the enemy forces once again, and kind of like using that super special barrage belly, just keep coming in, just hammering all the allied forces. God, he's using that to, again, using that to really good effectiveness. Both sides did really well. I just felt the allies just didn't capitalize on really like re-strategizing, like, okay, we need to open up a flank. Instead, they kept fighting on their own areas, and slowly but surely the Axis just gained the lead, and he just couldn't beat Axis armor. That being said, you can beat Axis armor. That is a possibility. You can easily do that. They just, unlike, actually funny enough, they just couldn't break apart the enemy's fortifications behind, while the Axis did. The Axis were able to get behind and do a lot of damage, whether with the Lukes over here or the Stormtroopers over here. They still did a lot of damage, and they did a tremendous amount. And then they were able to call in specials, annihilate pretty much all their guys on the front line, and force them back. So they had to keep going all the way to the front, back, all the way to the front, back. And it was just like, yeah, it was just a long struggle where they couldn't really hold anything. Let's see, over here, the best player on the Allied side was IQ. Best player on the Axis side was Jon Snow. What a surprise, great tactician. Not sure about this guy, but overall he did pretty well. I'll say Jon Snow did really, really well. 51,000 damage. Most kills, though, goes to Knights of Ren. He was a very good player. I did like Knight. And then the worst player was Horenix. Not a lot of damage or kills, but again, he was kind of that guy going behind the enemy lines. On the enemy team, the worst player was 1%. I could see that. Yeah, he really should have refocused his efforts somewhere else. He had a great amount of units. He just couldn't break the OKW line and should have refocused somewhere else. But, you know, that's just me. In any case, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Hi guys, you posted comments, so I'm going over them. The fact that the USF player went all bazookas just made me cringe. Yes, it did. It made me cringe too. Yeah, I expected at least a few IMGs in there. Yeah, at least they could do for the USF is just add one more heavy tank. I agree they need something. what I would love if they would actually make for the the USF. What is that? It's not a priest. It's something else, like a long tom artillery or something. I don't know, but something more native to help them. The hardest part about the Americans is breaking heavy fortified lines. That's the hardest thing. If they could figure out something to help break up heavy fortified lines, that's what they need. The least they could do for the USF is just add one more heavy tank. Yeah, the Sherman Jumbo Sherman that laughs when it hit. Oh boy. Yeah, cats are born Greyshot, get a bearded dragon. Oh, that's great. Yeah, like it's something fire breathing inside of a small apartment. That's a brilliant move. I'm sure that your house lasted so long. I'm not a Targaryen, sorry. I think I could beat them back both with my whole 11 hours. But on the note of those bad players, maybe you could do some replays, analysis players, and point out certain things that could help them, like where they go wrong. I think I did in that video. I think I showed, like, again, not retreating at certain points and being very watching your units and going over that. That's something I should have. I should have probably checked from his point of camera. That is something I probably should have done. But honestly, it was a lot of not reacting that really just caused him, both players, to lose, and also not strategizing like, okay, well, the enemy's here, we should probably push here. Great King Tiger played by Stalker. Yeah, King Tiger is pretty good. That was some of the most I'm not gonna say the word, but it was some bad gameplay. American Noobs, yeah, a little bit. I could beat them with my 87 hours in COH2. Oh, that's what you guys are saying, the amount of time you played. Technically, you don't need to play COH2 for that long. You can get. I played it for over 1,000 hours. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I mean, to be fair, some people are just better at a game and can easily get it. That Stuka was so satisfying. Yeah, because of course he didn't goddamn retreat. But anyway, that's all your comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.